Reproduction is essential for all creatures, both domestic and wild. At the Metro Richmond Zoo, zookeepers were closely watching as one of their beloved cheetahs went into labor. She successfully gave birth to 2 adorable cubs, but then something completely unexpected occurred. Stay tuned to the end to discover what happened next. Cheetahs are special animals, even among wild cats. They're the fastest land animals, but despite their incredible speed, they're now at risk of extinction due to poaching. Because of this, many animal protection groups and shelters are working together to find ways to save the cheetah population. One of these programs led to an extraordinary event, which we'll share in this video. Animal births are always exciting for zoos and wildlife centers, but it's even more special when it involves endangered species like cheetahs. Unlike other animals, cheetahs don't mate or reproduce randomly. They have a specific mating pattern that has been followed for generations. Female cheetahs are very selective about their mates. If a female cheetah doesn't like the available males, she may choose not to reproduce, even if the male is the only one around. Zoo and sanctuary staff work hard to match the best mates for cheetahs to help ensure the survival of the species. The female cheetah in this story followed her unusual mating patterns. Milani, a beautiful and smart 3-year-old cheetah, lived in the Metro Richmond Zoo. She was ready for mating, so the zookeepers tested her with different potential mates. They first tried to pair her with a popular male cheetah from the zoo, but Milani rejected him in her typical picky manner. Even after giving her 6 weeks to warm up to him, she still showed no interest. Realizing that things weren't working with the first male, the keepers introduced her to a new male cheetah. Fortunately, Milani took a liking to this new male. Cheetah was a handsome 6-year-old cheetah, had already fathered 1 cub. Milani quickly bonded with Cheetah, almost as if it were love at first sight. The 2 cheetahs became very close, spending their time napping and playing together. They were nearly inseparable. The zookeepers were thrilled with how things were turning out. Milani, their beloved cheetah, had found a mate she liked, and it seemed only a matter of time before she would become pregnant. While Cheetah had experience as a parent, Milani was new to motherhood. This would be her first time as a mother, so the zookeepers gave her extra care and attention. By July of that year, the staff began to notice some exciting changes in Milani. Her eating habits had suddenly altered, and her behavior was starting to shift from the usual. Everyone suspected she might be pregnant, but they needed to confirm it with a medical test. Fortunately, the test confirmed their suspicions. Milani was indeed pregnant. A few months after discovering Milani's pregnancy, the zookeepers began preparing for the arrival of her cubs. Since cheetahs have a gestation period of 92 to 98 days, the zookeepers knew they had to act quickly. They set up a comfortable and cozy pen for Milani, which would serve as her delivery room. They wanted to make sure her first birthing experience went as smoothly as possible. The pen was designed with soft, comfortable materials on the floor to create a welcoming environment for Milani. Additionally, the keepers installed a camera in the pen to capture any special moments and to monitor Milani in case any issues arose during the birth. Just like with humans, it's impossible to predict exactly what will happen during delivery. Despite all the careful preparations, there are no guarantees that everything will go according to plan. Predicting the exact day of a cheetah's delivery is nearly impossible, adding to the uncertainty and excitement. On September 19th, Milani began showing unusual behavior. The zookeepers noticed that she was restless, pacing back and forth. Shortly after 3 a.m., Milani made her way into the special pen that had been prepared for her, signaling the start of her long-awaited labor. The zookeepers watched with anxious hearts and quiet prayers, eager for the moment when their beloved cheetah would become a mother. Inside the pen, Milani continued to pace, searching for the ideal spot to settle down and give birth. By around 4:23 a.m., she gave birth to her first cub. Immediately after the birth, Milani began cleaning the cub and showing it affection. It was clear from the start that the cub was healthy. The zoo staff was overjoyed, relieved that Milani's delivery had gone smoothly. However, they soon realized that this was just the beginning of the journey. Just as the zookeepers were about to leave their observation room to bring the new cub in for a medical checkup, something both shocking and delightful happened in Milani's delivery room. Milani was in the midst of delivering another cub. After carefully licking the first cub clean, she began pacing around the pen once more, just as she had earlier. Remarkably, even as she moved restlessly, Milani was careful not to step on her newborn cub. About an hour later, at 5:22 a.m., Milani gave birth to a second beautiful cub. She cleaned this new cub with the same tenderness she had shown the first one. The second cub was healthy, breathing steadily and showing all the signs of life. Milani gently picked up the cub with her mouth and placed it next to its sibling. And after ensuring both cubs were settled, she lay down to rest. The zookeepers, still watching through the camera, couldn't contain their joy. They eagerly shared the exciting news on social media that Milani had given birth to 2 cubs. However, amidst the celebration, none of them anticipated the surprise that awaited them in the following hours. Imagine the astonishment on the faces of every staff member when they realized that Milani was far from finished with her delivery. She was just getting started. At around 7:20 a.m., Milani got up and began pacing again, just as she had earlier. This clearly indicated that she was about to give birth to another cub. She carefully moved the first 2 cubs to a different part of the pen to avoid accidentally stepping on them or sitting on them during the rest of her labor. Once the cubs were safely out of the way, Milani waited patiently for her contractions to begin. In just around 10 minutes, Milani delivered her 3rd cub. She tenderly cleaned the newborn, showing her care and affection. After ensuring the cub was well tended to, Milani settled down to rest. The staff, who was observing the birth through the camera, were filled with a profound sense of joy and amazement as they witnessed the incredible events unfold. But Milani wasn't finished yet. Around 10:05 a.m., 3 hours after the birth of her 3rd cub, she gave birth to a 4th cub. The number of cubs were already surprising, but what truly baffled everyone was the long intervals between each birth. The zookeepers started to worry that Milani might be having difficulty with the delivery, but they were mistaken. It turned out that Milani was surprisingly conserving her energy for the long process. At around 11:34 a.m., Milani surprised her keepers by giving birth to her 5th cub. This was a remarkable achievement for Milani, as she had now set a new record for herself, demonstrating her exceptional abilities as a mother. Typically, cheetah litters consist of 3 to 4 cubs, and it's common for mothers to have only 1 or 2. Milani, however, defied these norms and surpassed expectations. After delivering her 5th cub, she gathered all her newborns together and carefully groomed them. Then she lay down beside them, allowing them to nurse while she took a well-deserved rest. The staff allowed her to relax, fully appreciating the incredible effort she had put in, including the 6 hours of labor required to bring all 5 cubs into the world. By this point, the entire zoo was abuzz with excitement over the news of Milani's extraordinary delivery. When they eventually shared a heartwarming video showcasing Milani with her newborn cubs, it quickly became a sensation. The video captured the remarkable moment, and the response was overwhelming. Viewers everywhere cheered for Milani. Her achievement was celebrated widely, and she was hailed as a truly exceptional and incredibly brave cheetah mother. Her strength and resilience set her apart as one of the most remarkable animals in the zoo. Most notably, the veterinarians on duty confirmed that all of Milani's cubs were in excellent health, assuring that they were on track to growing into strong and robust adults. Milani's remarkable achievement not only filled her keepers with immense joy and admiration, but also instilled a renewed sense of hope for the future of the endangered cheetah species. Her extraordinary accomplishments highlighted her as a source of inspiration, allowing her to stand proudly as the bravest, most extraordinary, and dedicated mother.